they're not necessarily bad kids because there's a lot of good within them. They're just making bad choices. They're making split decision choices. And sometimes that's getting them into a lot of trouble where the consequences are huge.
They've all got different backgrounds. Some of them dropped out of school, year 7, year 8, they get bored, they've got nothing to do, and then they find other people in the same position and they want a bit of fun, and sometimes get involved in motor vehicle crime, like they'll either start stealing from cars, and then sometimes it snowballs into actually stealing the cars and having a bit of a thrill ride with their friends.
I've seen kids that have had to make a choice. In the heat of the moment, they're actually with their peers. Kids are not going out and offending by themselves. There's always a level of involvement from their peers.
Even though what they think they're doing is great and it gives them a lot of peer sort of power, it's not really. The experience I've had when it comes to these individuals who have done these type of crimes, for a better word, they're not looked on in high regard by their peers in a lot of ways. They're looked on in sadness. They're looked on in regret. Why did you do it? Why did you have to do that? What, you're looking for attention?
I do try and tell all my students about the impact that having an accident, not only death, but an acquired brain injury or being in a wheelchair and someone looking after you. So they've got to think of all of those things when they get into a car, but I know for a young person that's hard when you're put on the spot.
Often young people don't really think about the choice that they're making at the time. It's like a spur of the moment choice. We sometimes say a choice takes a second, so you really got to make that second count because you got to look at the bigger picture.
They just need to really think of how many people do actually wear what they've done.
There is that expression, kids will be kids, and I don't always buy that because I think inherently they all know what's right and wrong. And I understand that sometimes they want to act out a bit and they want to become adults faster than they are, but just because you're a kid doesn't mean that you're free from consequences of doing it.
They tend to look around for excuses in the early stage or the initial stages, probably that split second just after the incident has occurred. The split second before it, we're still in fun times. We're still enjoying what we're doing. We're on a high. There's a bit of adrenaline here.
Sometimes I'd like to say, come and work with me for a day and I'll show you 8 hours worth of really poor decisions. Probably that would terrify a few people and I'm sure it would scar a few people, but ideal in every day, 8 hours of poor life decisions.
And then such time, they then realise and they go to the panic, oh, it is my fault. I have done all this. I'm not dreaming. It's this occurred. I am at fault here. I am to blame. I am culpable. I think the legal system is going to be a big issue with me at this present time. Mum, Dad, help me here, because I am drowning.
Taking that moment to think through what you're actually about to do and that choice and the consequences of that choice in that second.
They're not bad kids. They just get caught up in that moment, I guess.
And honestly, some of them just do not give a shit. They just don't give a shit. They're that invincible. Yeah, no. No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No matter what, physics will always win as well when it comes to driving a stolen car at a hurtling speed. It's a missile, it's a heavy one, and it does a lot of damage, and I can speak from first-hand experience on that one.
Think about yourself, think about the others that are around you, and do what you can to stay alive.
Being not fearful of a parent, just reaching out and saying, look, I know I've done the wrong thing, it might be 2 o'clock in the morning, but please come and get me. My only other option is to get in a car with someone that may be drunk or substance affected. Your parents aren't going to yell at you. They're going to say thanks for calling. They might be a little bit upset, but they're going to say thanks for calling.
The biggest thing that we can do is to think about these kind of things beforehand, before making a decision to drive in some risky way, and an unlicensed young driver hasn't got the experience, and that experience takes time. And that's why we've got, the graduated licensing system. It's not about giving young people a hard time, it's about keeping them alive and keeping them here to fulfil their life, I guess, and to see them grow into adults.
I mean, it's all fine and good for me to preach here and say, I'm the copper, you need to do X, Y, and Z, good, bad, right, wrong, whatever. Most people don't need me to tell them not to make stupid decisions. Most people know, but at the end of the day, got to live with the consequences, and that's pretty much what it boils down to.